Blessings, beautiful creations of light. Thank you so much for joining me for this tarot reading today. So, I've never done this before. I've done this like in private, but not on camera. Doing a tarot reading for myself. Obviously, this message will still connect with you watching because I do like to believe if I record a session, it's meant to be also for the one watching. So it's not just for me, okay? So I believe as well. In this life, we meet many people, and you're going to meet some people because you're vibrationally matched. So maybe you're going through the same situation I'm going through. So this is meant for you. Please watch maybe for entertainment, for sleep, or only for if this is drawing you in. If this does not draw you in, do not listen to it as your own message. Do not take it to heart. Just listen, if you want entertainment or relaxation, to what I have to say about myself and see what the cards show. Now, I know it's a challenge for tarot readers to read their own cards. It's like for themselves, right? Like if to do a tarot reading for themselves, it's always harder than to do for someone else, right? It really is. Okay, it's like, I don't think it's even possible because there's always bias for your own life, right? So, but I'll try my best to take out bias in this video because it's also going to be a message for you, okay? So before this begins, if you could just subscribe and tap the bell and hit all notifications if you'd like. And check my website. I do offer tarot readings on my website, TonyBomboni.com. They're my most popular book service. All right, so if you have a question for me, you want to ask about your finances, your love life, literally anything, there's no judgment. I've been asked all sorts of questions. You'd be surprised. People have asked me things that, yeah, in detail, about their private life. Everything's kept private. You get your own custom private unlisted YouTube video link to your email inbox within a day or two at maximum. All right, and now that I'm single, I have a lot more free time to do this quick. So expect your bookings probably, honestly, the fastest I can do them is 2 hours. And between a few hours, it's very rare that it's more than 24 hours. That's exceptional. So if always, you can always, email me, ask me. Be nice, but what's taking long, right? Or if I skip I never skip. Most times people ask me gently, if I had a delay, did I happen to miss your booking? No, I never ever miss your booking. I get it immediately in my notification and I save it in my phone. I screenshot it right away. I never miss a single booking, never have, never will, with this system in place. So it's mostly because I was traveling so much the last 7 months of my life and I was in a relationship. So I really, I apologize deeply for that. But yes, now that I'm not, I definitely have a lot more free time to focus on doing these quicker. Okay. And, so yeah, I guess I'm bringing that up to say, obviously, what's been happening with me lately, what I've been going through. Sorry about the Instagram story rants, but yes. I guess, just like with a tarot reader, I'm going to pretend like you're the tarot reader, right? And I'm going to tell you what I've been through lately. I just got done crying profusely for half an hour. I feel a lot better now that I did that because I feel like that was me opening up the healing journey because I just was kind of blocked for 3 days and just felt sick and nauseous and couldn't eat very well. Lost some weight. I already lost weight because I was sick in Mexico, and now I lost probably even more. But it's okay. I'm hoping to get back on my fitness routine. I've kind of been slacking there too. Gain some of that weight back, some of that muscle mass. focus on work more, keep doing these daily posts. I've been slacking, and it's been affecting me financially, so I'm hoping to improve there. Start saving more because I've been spending a lot, doing a lot of trips. And that's where I am at my life. I'm also trying to find peace with being single again, being by myself, not having to trust and rely on a partner. Strengthen my connection with the Lord. Again, you don't have to know all this stuff, but I just I want to get my energy as much as possible in this reading. So yes, it feels right. Like when you book my services, you could just ask me a question, I'll do your reading. But yeah, it helps if you give me details too. You can even send it in the separate email, more details, and I'm always appreciative of that. The more info is the better, of course. So it doesn't have to be a whole storybook, just, you can keep it a couple paragraphs or, But, what else? Yeah, so I'm just trying to recover my health, get my appetite back, know that I don't have to rely on anyone. I don't have to talk to even any friend for my problems. I can turn to God, and that's been helpful, but I'm trying to improve that. I've continued, reading my Bible. That gives me peace. Reading a little bit of a book every day, like a page or two. Journaling, ventilating that way helps me relieve a lot of stress. Going outside, walking, even just simple tasks like bare feet on the grass is very healing for me. Working with my crystals, actually. I've been meditating even before this breakup with crystals. And it's sometimes when your body's mentally preparing you for some changes in your life. So I even let that go for a while. And I started every day. And I've noticed changes. And I think I've finally let go of what no longer serves me. Today I chose to work with Angelite. Because I read in the Book of Stones about different stones. So every day I read about a new stone. And I work with that stone. And it every day the message has just been clicking with me. And connecting, spirit's really talking. I actually saw a mouse. I don't ever see a mouse ever. I've never seen a mouse around my house. It's not in the house, it's outside, but oh my god, a flipping mouse. I've never seen a mouse here. So I finally saw one the day after this happened, and I know that's spirit talking. I saw a coyote 2 days before as well. I'm I never saw a coyote ever. So I know the spirit world is speaking through God, and I asked him, I said, why did you show me that? He said, I wanted you to know I'm always there. So that was my reassurance and comfort, and I don't have anyone to turn to. I don't really have friends in the area, so that's my way, I guess, of getting through, healing, coping. But I don't just, want to reach out to God because I'm in pain and hurting. I want to be there, form a relationship with him that's stronger, and because I've seen the miracles he's worked on my life. I know he exists. There's proof in my life that he exists personally, right? And I couldn't build that connection with him until later years because I had to see the proof for myself. And now that I have, in the last couple of years, I've seen how he works and how he's changed me and changed things. Really, I've been on a journey for a few years now, healing, growing, evolving, and changing, and being a better person. And I know this is making me stronger. Sometimes I question if I'm meant to be alone forever. Sometimes I question my own sanity. Sometimes I question, why do I keep attracting the same people over and over again? And you know what? We're going to get those questions answered today. All right. I guess my question for the cards is, I'm going to keep this Angelite stone here nearby just to kind of give me peace while I'm doing this reading and kind of let the message flow. It's also very good, if you've ever had that feeling this, and I believe blue anhydrite, angelite and blue anhydrite is, I believe, good for people who always felt like they were incarnated here, first time here on the planet, which I know I am. I've definitely seen it. I'm no angel, but I've seen myself in that form in some ways, and you know, whenever I think about it, it makes me cry, and I know that's like a genuine feeling. So I know that's not like ego-based. So who knows? Who knows? I don't know. I don't have all the answers, but anyone who ever feels like they're a healer, a light worker, brought here, you feel alone, these are good stones to connect with your truest, highest self and your reason for being here. And for, you know, having compassion for the pain of humanity. Because even if it's your first time here, you chose to be here as soul. And there's a reason for that. You may not like being here sometimes, but you decided to do the work. And I know it's a hard job. It's a difficult task being here. It's difficult to even just be here, even just like wake up some mornings and be like, ugh, I'm still here. I know the feeling, but this will help you get through that. So anyway, I guess that's maybe something you're going through, a reason why I brought this stone today. All right, my question is, and sorry it took so long, but I wanted you to get to know me more, connect with me spiritually, so maybe the cards can connect with you more. So you get to know from my heart what I'm speaking from my heart. So you understand, okay? And maybe you learn something new, okay? Okay. My question. The best way to get through this breakup and the best way to move on from any situation, anything that has ending, needs closure, any loss, any suffering and pain, dealing with things emotionally. I guess I don't have a specific question, and sometimes that's okay. You know, I don't have a specific question for the cards, but you just want to know more information. I just kind of in general want to know more information, and when you book a service for me, it's common, you know, you ask a general question. It's fine, okay? It's fine. We're going to ask the universe to tap into what we need to know. Any advice, guidance, and wisdom is always welcome from above. From me, Tony Bomboni. Not my real name, but you know who I am, God. Dear Lord, I channel you through these cards to give me the proper message, and for my Poopsie subscribers who are watching, whatever message can resonate with both of us to give us healing, peace. How do I get through this? How do I overcome loss, pain, emotional suffering? Why do I keep replaying these same patterns in my life? What's going on? What do I need to know? What's the message? What is this trying to teach me? What is this trying to show me? Guide me. Why did I have to go through this pain time and time again with different past partners? Why do I suffer in love? Is there something more I need to know? Yeah, this is exactly what I was talking about. Doing my best to remove a biased judgment. But yes. How does this connect? First of all, I'm just going to say it. 7 of Pentacles. Maybe you can help me in the comments and write to me what you think each message is. What it's trying to tell me. Laugh out loud, I don't know. Like, this is a hard one. Doing a reading on yourself is, that's why I said I'd rather do it in the format of doing it for you than I get answers. Okay. Work, the first impression I had, without overthinking it, because it didn't make sense at first, like why would this show up at first, is it's almost like, and I hate to say this or admit this is truth for me as well, but I'm just going to say it. It's like, I don't want to say overworked or consumed with work, this typically would be more about like you're waiting on the things that never happen, because he's waiting on his harvest to grow, and it's the crops are not growing. There's no yield. I've always felt like I've never had that yield, that return out of a man. Like, I put in all the effort, time, and energy, and I never get it back equivalently. All of a sudden, Spirit just downloaded me that I had this friend who did an hour-long tarot reading. You guys remember that video? She did a reading for me. And it was about relationship and love. And that was when I was like kind of seeing this guy, and like she was seeing that, yeah, it's maybe not going to work out, but there's opportunity in the future. And she was right. They're telling me to refer back to that. And there's like a message there. So I might go back and watch it, although it might be a little painful because it took me a very long time to get over this person that I was with. That's why I took a couple years off before I met this guy, and then now it's like, well, 7 months later, here we are again. 7. Look at this, crazy. 7 of Pentacles. 7 months, it was over. The yield was only meant to grow for 7 months. Yes, thank you, Lord. That just downloaded in my spirit. I was waiting, expecting it to be a big, abundant tree when it was just a bush. It was just a bush. There was nothing more for me there. I can easily move on knowing this now. Okay. Well, that's funny, but yeah, still hurts. Look, 7 again. 7 again. 7 months. Yeah. I had a path to choose. The biggest struggle was deciding to let go or not. I'm the one who broke up with them, so I have still the choice to stay, but I choose not to. I think that's just more confirming I had the decision to make. Do I want to stay with this bush, or do I want to move on to a tree? A bigger harvest, a bigger yield. I choose the tree. I'm sorry, but that's true. There was nothing more for me there with this person, unfortunately. There was not enough love for me to grow this plant into a tree. Do you know what I mean? Like, if I don't care for it, look, he doesn't care about his harvest. How is it going to grow when I don't put the care? So, like, should I really grieve or mourn for this situation to begin with when I didn't really put that much? I did put effort in the beginning, but after a while I just kind of, you know, in every relationship, like 6 months later, it just kind of dies down, you know, the passion. And that's why most relationships end after half a year, is because it dies down, you know, there's like nothing left. It just started to feel like a friendship after a while, and yeah, that's why I'm more peace being friends with someone than in a relationship now. Nothing personal to this person. Now this is 8, so this is telling me it might take like a whole month for me to fully like recover, feel like myself, be myself again, move on. Strength will take a while. Okay, the strength within me will take some time. Okay, a month. This tells me a month. I would associate it with 7 to 8 months, but that's too long, because knowing where I am now today and the growth I've been through, honey, it's not going to take me 7, 8 months to get over no man, okay? Like, no, okay? This tells me 7 to 8. It's like the 7th to the 8th month. So intuitively I feel I'm going to get my strength back in a month. I'm going to get my appetite back to normal. And, yes, recover, okay. part of this could tell me exercise can help me do that. Again, maybe something you need to hear. All right, so I definitely need to remember in the future not to let myself go back to old ways. This is getting easier now the more I do this, because it feels like I'm doing a reading for you. So it's like this is the same format. I'm just talking to myself now. So easier now with the more I connect, okay, the dots. This is how I would do the reading for anyone. If I had these cards in this placement. Yes, I see here, this is a lesson in that, a warning not to let go. I spent too much time going to their place, cooking for them, taking care of things, you know, if they have pain, taking care of their needs, and just like, I wasn't getting my needs met. I wasn't getting that reciprocated back. It was always me giving, me offering. And it was like this, again, nothing personal. I don't want to be like personal to this person. No. This has been happening. It's a cycle. It's been replaying. I've always been the one giving more effort, love, attention, energy to my partner, thinking about them, buying them gifts. Like, yeah, the cycle needs to end here. I need to do that for myself. Also, this just downloaded in my spirit. It happened too fast. We started going on trips very soon, talking about moving in very soon, marriage very soon. It was rushed. Yes, it was rushed, and I didn't take time to heal through this. There were, in the first couple months, and I'm not ashamed to say, because that was the past. I didn't say it at the time. I cried a lot because I was so thrilled. I was so happy to finally meet someone, to be dating someone, to be in a relationship with someone. And they had friends even that I met that I became friend with, and I was so happy and grateful for that friend. And they're a really good friend. And yeah, like I didn't have anyone here. And then I met him, and then I met more people through him. And I was just thrilled, but I was still going through my own stuff, working with my crystals, meditating, and crying, like crying. And I'm an intuitive person, and I know that was like a warning sign. That was spirit telling me, you're going to get your heart hurt. It's because I didn't take enough time. I thought 2 years was enough time. And it was for me to meet this person, to attract them in my life. Dumb luck, you guys. I have no one in this area. Like, yeah, there's people you can meet here, but who's like, you know, making their own good money, stable, has a house. Well, okay, stable is relative, but you know what I mean. I definitely wish for more stability, that's for sure. Regardless, you know, like dumb luck. Like, yeah, like works something similar I do, like, yeah, dumb luck. I can go on and on. Lives very close to me, and yeah, I tried for so long to meet a person like that. I always had to travel like 4 hours by car, 1 hour by car, like, you know, just to meet these people. And they were so close. And I was more happy about that because I was afraid that I would lose that. I was afraid of being alone because I didn't take the time to get through. I spent too much time with this person and not enough time to myself. I craved that time. I started getting cranky. I started getting like very agitated. Not enough time alone. And you know Virgos likes their alone time. And when they don't got that, they have a needy person. Oops, sorry. Allegedly. It happens in relationships, okay? There's someone needy sometimes, and you just have to be there for them. I get it, but it was too much. I drained too much of my energy and resources, and it started affecting me everywhere. financially, and a pattern played itself again and again. And I feel like a fool for not taking time alone. So this is the time to realize that, to strengthen myself so I can build a tree, a bigger harvest. I'm glad I realized my worth and strength internally to know my worth and say, no, I cannot continue this relationship anymore because you hurt me. You did something unforgivable, and I cannot move on because of your unfaithfulness. Yes. I helped focus on helping the people, the right people. I focus on helping the wrong people too much. I'm always ending up helping the person who hurts me. In the end, the person who doesn't deserve my loving attention. And that's because I neglected my needs. Because I felt like I didn't deserve love and attention. That's all it comes down to. I hurt myself. No one can hurt you but yourself. When you realize that, that's your strength and empowerment. You're the victor. Victory is accomplished when you realize that. I forgot about my peace too. It disturbed my peace. This relationship disturbed my peace, and I kept ignoring it, neglecting my needs. I didn't want to admit it. I didn't want to say I was no longer in love. I hate saying it out loud, but it's true. This was just meant to be. And I knew something was cooking, something was wrong. I knew they did something that was not right in a relationship. And I ignored it. I saw it in visions. I saw it in dreams. I ignored it. This is a karma. This is a karmic pattern. This is replaying itself again and again until I break free and realize that, you know what? I will officially break free and be with the right person once I take my own needs into account and consideration. I did in the beginning, a month, 2 months. I would spend more time at home still. Then I got so caught up and trapped into the web that I just got lost. And family realized it. Slowly with time, friends, I was unhappy. They were worried about me, genuinely. Heck, ASM artists messaged me like, dude, like, what's wrong? Like, I see it in your eyes. I see the pain. This was all happening behind the scenes and no one knew. Yeah. 4 or 5 months I was internally struggling, but no, everything's going to be okay. This is normal in relationships to feel this way. This is normal to be suspicious or paranoid. No. It's not normal. In a healthy, loving relationship, that's not okay. I mean, even my mom was like, yeah, you're spending too much time with this person. Like, yeah. Some days I didn't even want to, like, go do anything. I just wanted to be home. Honestly, I'm a homebody. Like, I spend 99% of my time home. Like, honestly, like, I don't travel. I don't go out. I never did. It doesn't make me happy. I don't care to go on a plane and go to the, like, I just don't care for that stuff. So I didn't meet my match and I hated it. But with time, the more I got to know this person, the more I realized it wasn't a match. So I hurt myself by not ending things sooner. This is what this is telling me. This is what this is telling me. This is why I'm replaying it. Once I realize I can still be with someone, but I need to spend my time alone. They need to get that. They need to understand that. So hell, you know what? Maybe it's better if I find a partner who lives further away. How about that? Maybe that's healthier. Sorry about that. I needed some time to ventilate, let out my frustration. Again, it's the healing process. I was sad. Then I was angry. Then I was sad again. I'm going through it, you guys. So, yeah. This is my way to heal so that I don't keep introducing this subject in my videos. Do you know what I mean? Okay. And I'm glad God led me to this journey at 27 rather than like 22, because I was not immature. I was too immature at the time to handle it like you guys would have. Just like, it would have been like crying on the kitchen floor type of thing, you know what I mean? So I'm so glad that this happened now with a different mindset. Not perfect, but more mature than I was, right? This also downloaded in my spirit just now. I wasn't giving them the time as well to be alone. But unfortunately, I've noticed every time they would be away or alone. Again, this is entertainment purposes only. Take what you will, leave what you won't. This is just for relaxation and fun. A link to how the message relates to you, but yes, just like you would with like a tarot reader, you can, like, in between, share what you went through, right? I want to say though that when we would spend time away from each other, I know this is deeply private and personal, but I noticed like that's when I would get hurt. It's like they would do their actions, behavior, like it's almost like that need, that energy pull, like they're lacking or missing something or someone. And when I'm not there, that's when they would do the damage and do what they did. And it's like I tried to give them their time and space, but they only did more damage. So how could I stay with a person like that? So, yes, that's when they performed the unfaithful act, but they were too stuck on their ex. They were too stuck on the ex. And I took the 2 years to get over. So this helps you better understand the reading and connect the dots here with me and with you. And they were too stuck. I got over it, over the pain. I was not stuck on my past, so I could stay committed to them, which I chose to. I could easily, be lying, deceiving, cheat as well, but I chose not to. So my point is, never again will I be with someone who even like signals those red flags that I chose to ignore because I thought this was love. Someone stuck on their ex. That's all it was. That's all it was. And I need to get over it and learn that this is how certain people are. They're going to hurt you. You cannot trust certain energies. Put your faith and trust in God. Not a person, not man. That's the lesson here. That's what I feel is downloaded in my spirit as well as I overcome this process. So, hope you got something out of that. Let's continue the message. Well, that was all part of the message. I didn't interrupt it. That was all part of the reading, actually. Sometimes I pause and I just channel and then that just comes out. Anything I need to hear. And I can always watch this back to receive my own healing as well. Right? I might do that if I feel the need. But this was enough for me. I felt like I released it. I got it out. I feel empowered. Take it slow, Tony. Take it slow. Suggested approach. Take it slow. I took it too darn fast. Although I was never the type of person to ask for the ring or push something, I did always tend to push the idea of a relationship on someone. This time I didn't. And it felt almost perfect, which is why I was so shocked they did what they did, but nonetheless, it was a mistake, and I respect their decision for choosing what they did because it's too late. I cannot go back. It is what it is. But it's because things progressed too quick. And it's because I was someone that likes to progress things quickly. And that was not my taste. Okay? I wished it was a bit slower. I wished I didn't say I love you too soon before they did. Because that hurt as well. I was laughed at. I was made a mockery of. And I wish I kept my mouth shut sometimes. But I got so angry with time. And I started showing that anger. And it just pushed us apart. And it's because I knew what they did. And I kept it quiet all along. I should say my higher self knew. But my lower self chose to ignore the signs. And I feel like a fool. And this will change my world forever. The world is now mine. I can choose to be with who I want. I can choose to be alone if I want. The choice is mine, but now I have the freedom to choose. I have the freedom to explore life and heal. I don't want to be with anyone right now because I'm too disgusted by the human ego and their actions and behavior. Lies, manipulation, deceit. Everyone's capable. I'm not immune to it either. But I'm not ready to deal with all that again, all those emotions. I'm not ready to even start introducing myself again to anyone new. Like, that's out of the question. I need time. It's too much work. I'm not ready for the work. I said and shared, like, everything about myself, and it was exhausting. It's exhausting to do it again, all over again, start over again with someone new. I'm not ready. I don't care to. I don't have the energy. This is also linking back to work. Like, I was putting in all the work, not them. Emotionally. When I see the red flags and see that no one's giving compassion and emotion, something's wrong. Something's amiss. You can't marry someone that doesn't care for you. Just pretends to. And they're texting someone on the side. So I guess this is just telling me, focus on you, boo-boo. Do you. Love yourself. Learn to love again. Keep loving people. Don't let this make you grow old and bitter and resentful like it used to. You're not that person anymore. Emotional healing will take its course. It's going to be slow for me to emotionally heal because I feel deeply. I'm a Scorpio rising, Capricorn moon, Virgo sun. I feel very deeply. I process every emotion to the fullest extent of the universal law, so much that it just is unbearable. Sometimes it's like I have shortness of breath now, even just thinking about it. As I clear through this trauma. It's a lot of work that I'm not ready for. I never was. I think they're meant to be single. I think I'm meant to be single. I've noticed the same, even in readings, when you ask about someone, their cards will not just tell you about yourself. It'll tell you about the person you're talking about too. This is also about the person. They're not ready, clearly. They're still stuck on old energies, old people. I was stuck on the idea of a relationship so much that I finally attracted one, but not the God-given one, not the right one for me. I wanted a person of faith. I wanted a person to be there, to give you that hug, to give you a massage, to cuddle up next to you and tell you everything's gonna be okay. I'm the woman in the relationship, and sometimes I felt like I had to be the man in the relationship, but that's okay. I feel like I've changed, they've changed. They wanted someone more a mix of both, and we just weren't a match. I have to accept it. Like, it hurts, but dating sucks. Sometimes, there's, you have to try sometimes with the 7th, 8th person until they're like the right one, And albeit I don't know how much more I can take emotionally without having crazy erratic thoughts. But I know this is just the beginning. And I'm glad it is, because I can then take more time to myself, catch up on missed time with myself. I cannot take my years back of my life. I've spent so much time with the wrong people that I'm actually very pissed off that I spent most of my 20s with lost people, people who are very lost in life and have no direction, are not stable energies, do not connect the same way spiritually, do not understand. Like, I'll even talk about with people this stuff like angels and all this crap. It's not crap, sorry, excuse me, but you know what I mean. I'm just frustrated. And they don't get me. They think I'm crazy. They laugh, make a mockery. You guys are the only ones who've like really got me. That's why I was deep down inside, I always like wished, I could have met like someone who really connected with me, but that never works. Like, I even tried that, like making friends with viewers, and I tried that in college. I tried that in my early 20s. It never worked out. It always ended up a disaster, because like they're so heavily involved in my content, and then it's like, oh, God forbid, I say something in my video and then they cause drama about it. You can't even, like, I couldn't even breathe, like all eyes on me, everyone watching, and God forbid I slip up and say something in a video, then all of a sudden, you said this and was it about me? They take it personally. I can't be with you anymore because you did this or made this video about me or said this. It's just, you guys don't even know. Like, this is such a hard job because it links so closely with my life. Like, you cannot. It's very hard to be with a person who has a particular career. Let's put it that way. Especially like, heck, even while I was in a relationship, I was getting messages like DMs like, oh yeah, hit me up. Oh, I want to be with you. I'm like, get out of here. Obviously, I would never reply to them, but like, I could have. It's easy to have the temptation to, right? And I've had a lot of jealousy in my life. A lot of people jealous of what I've done in my life, what I have, the people I've associated with. I mean, heck, I've had opportunities. Like, I could have dated like the richest of the rich in Florida. I'm telling you, like, yeah, no joke. Like, the people I met, you have no idea. And I cannot say. Unfortunately, I can't say who these people are, but I could have. I had the opportunity and I denied it. I rejected it because it didn't feel right. I know my worth and value is even more than all of that. I don't care if I am with someone poor. That doesn't matter. I don't make a mockery or judge people or laugh at someone because they make less than me. So sometimes the more you get to know a person, the more you realize who they are. And I guess I just have to make peace with knowing that this was part of my journey. How can I make peace is what I'm trying to ask. How can I make peace with this person, admitting our faults, our wrongdoings, accept and move on? Yeah, there will be times it'll feel like something was taken from me. I'll look back and say, why didn't I have that opportunity with that person? Well, I could have. But remember the saying, you look back, you turn into a pillar of salt. And I was constantly with people looking back, stuck on their ex. Even that person that took me 2 years to get over, they were stuck on their ex still. The cycle plays and plays and plays, doesn't it? I will have better luck being with someone that almost has to be one of the first questions. You're not still stuck on your ex, are you? But they can lie and deceive. They can say no. Funny, isn't it? I see here, this is just telling me I have to take responsibility and full accountability and remind myself to continue healing, to continue growing, not to forget why I'm here on this earth. I'm not here to marry someone. Oh no, that's not why I'm here. That's not why my soul made an assignment to come down here. I didn't come down here to F around. I didn't come down here to play with people's hearts. And Lord knows those who have, you'll have to answer to the Lord when it's your time to go home. Even He won't judge you. You judge yourself. You're going to regret it one day when you look down on this earth. You're going to say, I wish I didn't wrong that person this way. That's why it's so important to make the right decisions in life, to not act like a child and to play with people's hearts, because you don't know what damage you could have caused to someone. So this is why I take this subject seriously. I take love seriously. And I know I shouldn't. It should feel light. It should feel like a child play, right? Like loving. But hearts get broken nonetheless. It hurts when you have a childhood friend and that breaks up as well. Right? Yeah. I need to be open to receiving what's meant for me, not what I think I'm supposed to receive. That's what this is telling me. That way I never feel lost, like anyone else lost in life. And I can't help the lost. I've tried to so many times with fail. You can't help anyone, especially in a grown adult. You can't tell them what to do. You can't parent them. You can't control them. You don't want to be that guy. You gotta let it go. I need to strengthen my connection with the Lord, and I need to strengthen my connection with myself through Him. Again, how it links to me personally, obviously, I'm not going to say that to everyone, okay? This is how it links to me, okay? If it links to you, cool. If not, cool. Okay, we got that out the way. And also, this is why I'm more blunt. I'm more carefree about what I say nowadays. I used to be so scared of what I'm going to say. Oh, I'm going to hurt someone sensitive. Click away. If you can't handle the heat, stay out the kitchen, honey. I'm here to speak truth. I'm not here to beat around the bush. Now this downloaded in my spirit. I used to meet a lot of people who were not giving emotionally. I dated even older people. I thought, oh, maybe they would be more mature. Nope. Equally just as stuck, lost, hopeless, helpless. No matter how much I helped, still lost, hopeless, helpless. The more I'm around these people, the more I end up feeling lost and confused. Like, what just happened? This is why I need alone time, and this is why I need to admit when I see the signs in a person, trust them. Believe them when they tell me something. When they tell me they're lost since day one, believe them. When they tell me they're not ready, believe them. This is my fault. It's my own doing. No one else. This is of my own doing. Yes, I can be mad at myself for a while, but I'll get over it. Again, no one can give you emotional healing but you. It comes from within. Happiness comes from within. No man can ever give you what you're looking for. And this stems from daddy issues, which I've had in my life. Dating a lot of older men and like on and off horrible relationships, or just incidents. I haven't even had relationships in my life. Like literally this is like the second one in my life, literally. It's either been date or just on and off fling kind of thing because they didn't want to commit. Listen from the start when someone says they don't want to yet, they're not ready yet. There's something there. And until I heal that issue, until I overcome that no one can give me what I'm looking for but me, I thought I did, but I didn't give myself enough time to sit in that feeling and to enjoy it. I missed being single. When I was single, I was saying, Lord, please make me be single longer because I'm going to miss this. I know it. I'm going to miss my freedom to do whatever the hell I want. And this is why this had to happen. I'm glad I empowered myself enough to say no, to make the decision this time instead of someone telling me no. That's that. This is good. I'm releasing emotion. When you do a reading, you're going to get angry sometimes. You're going to cry sometimes. You're going to feel old things come up to the surface sometimes. It depends on your situation. That's natural, healthy, and normal. Do not fear it. Do not fear the emotion. You have to let it pass and subside. I hope this gave you the insight and the healing you're looking for as well. I'm here to do a service. I'm here to help you. Okay? I'm here to connect with you. Thank you for allowing me to be vulnerable, open, and honest and do this self-reading and / reading on you. Again, totally genuine, natural, from the heart, speaking my truth. Yeah, it may or may not have been so relaxing when I'm like a little agitated, but I'll get over it. I will get the time I need. And I'm taking it easy. Yeah. Thank you very much. God bless you all. In summary, I need to give myself the time I need. Love myself harder. respect my personal boundaries. In the beginning, I wasn't ready for a relationship either. I said to them, I just want to be friends, and it just turned into more. And I didn't want it to turn into more. I wanted it to keep going as friends because I was afraid of getting hurt. And that fear kept following me in the relationship. And this is why this happened. Your partner will always pick up on your energies. They're not stupid. They will know something is wrong. And out of their paranoia, they're going to make a stupid decision out of that fear. Especially when you change energies intimately. You're picking up some of their baggage, karma, weight, burden. So be very careful who you are messing around with, because you have to clear that away too. Yes. And men, take more accountability for your lives. Heal. Do the work. Do not just run away like a coward. Yes, it hurts to hear. But women, the feminine energy, I should say, not women, the feminine energy, I apologize, like me, like I have a lot of feminine energy, tends to do the healing work more than the male, masculine energy. The masculine just wants to brush it off and pretend it never happened. This is why they cannot get over their ex. This is why the pattern keeps playing. I'm not here to beat around the bush. I'm here to heal. I'm here to tell you like it is so you can stand up. Take accountability, not run and hide like a child, and understand that this is the process that needs to take place for you to find a better person in your life. I'm a man. I know what that's like. It's easy to run and hide, cower away, be spineless, lack of courage. It's all based on how we're raised, how we grew up, our trauma in our past, our situations in our past that got us to where we are today. I'm very compassionate toward that. I get it. It's not easy. It's not easy to do the work, but it needs to be done. You're gonna need to do it. How? How do I start, you may ask? Ask the universe, ask God, ask whatever, talk to yourself. You'll know. After this reading, after readings, you'll know. You'll know. The message, if it didn't come through by now, you'll know. You're going to start opening up the channels to get signs and messages to get you to a healing place. I know this was intense. I will calm down with time. But this needed to be recorded. This was a spontaneous video. I felt in my spirit this was the right video to film today. And it's all for a divine reason. Again, I know this is not for everyone. Only the strong and brave maybe had to make it to the end of this video and listen to this message. I acknowledge you. I thank you. I respect that. This is not an easy task. It's not easy to be on this planet, to meet certain people who influence you in a negative way. But it's within. None of that should influence or affect you or phase you too deeply. If it is, you're still healing. You're still needing to do the work, which I clearly need to. I'm clearly in suffering. Have been for most of my life. Emotionally. Pretending like everything's okay. There's a lot of work needing to be done here now. And I'm getting through it as well. I'm not particularly going to lie to you about that, okay? So, I'm very much looking forward to producing new content for you. Thank you for understanding, being there with me, following, listening. And again, if you want a life-changing experience, book a tarot reading, see what happens. You may receive more than you may know. I don't just say Seven of Pentacles, this is about this. Eight of Pentacles, this is about this. I go in. It gets deep sometimes. Sometimes I cry during your readings. It gets there. All right? Not everyone's ready for it. I'm here if you need me when you're ready, honey. Okay? It's obviously not going to be this deep or this intense because this was a personal reading. So, yeah, it's not going to get that wild, but it can get for you sometimes certain things we don't want to hear, we need to hear. All right? So, yeah, this was a lot longer than I anticipated, but I did it in a 15-minute reading format. It lasted an hour because I just kept talking and going on, relating it to my experience and getting through and realizing what I need in this time. And I believe I answered all my questions. There's nothing more for me to say. All right? I love you all so much. I say what I say out of love. And only human, doing the best I can, right? To come across the right way without, getting too in people's hurt feelings, right? Like, yeah, okay. Some of it could be just so much pain I've been through, guys, honestly, that I just projecting, and I don't even know anymore. Sometimes you don't even know if you're speaking through spirit or you're speaking through out of anger. But yeah, it did come out at the end, but that's needing to come out. I needed to take that pause like half hour in, remember, to let it out because I was just so frustrated that this keeps happening in my life. This is just a recurring pattern, and I'm only capable of breaking that pattern, freeing myself from the chains and binds of what these people have done by freeing myself. And if that's the situation you went through, I get it. It's hard. It's not easy. Not easy. But I trust and know the right one will come through in my life. I know too much to go back. Let's put it that way. You do too. You know too much to go back to that past person, that ex. You can't go back. All right.